lockdown is definitely over. Here in Edwards County, the peak of the rut is December 3rd and 4th, and it is drastically dropping off because I'm seeing the bucks again. I went for several days not even seeing a buck, and I'm sure they were all tied up with doe. Had one opportunity the other day on the episode before at a buck that was probably 3 or 4 years old, not exactly sure, but just a squeaky arrow rest got me on that one. So I'm still out hard at it. I've only got 3 more days left, and then I got to head back home. But definitely I should be able to see some action over the next 3 days. But the weather's getting really hot, so you just never can win with this weather here in Edwards County. One day it'll be 75 degrees, and the next day it'll be 35. So that's Texas weather for you. But anyways, we're toughing it out here for the next 3 days or so. Father, teach me to trust when your thinking is unknowable, when I lack the capacity to understand. For you have proven your trustworthiness and your love beyond measure. Your Son sent to the cross for my sin, what a treasure. That same evening, I was sitting in the south blind because the wind is bad for the middle blind. I'd actually rather sit in the middle blind, but because it also has water there. But anyway, I was sitting in a place where I could without the wind giving me away. And I caught some movement to my right, and it was an axis doe coming through with a weanling, it looked like. And so I thought I'd get ready and shoot this opening out to about 55 yards I could shoot. But she actually goes a little bit too far out into the trees. And then one other opportunity to the left in a little opening, but they came through too fast to get any shot. This fall season, we've just had an extraordinary amount of pigs. I think it's due to all the rain that we had. So anytime I get the opportunity at night when I leave that dinger on, I'll take an opportunity for a pig. No track job on this little porker. It's time to go take care of him. But it was a spine shot for sure. What you didn't see in the video is I went ahead and finished him off with a rifle. Didn't want to break another arrow. Cost me too much money, 50 cents for a bullet, or about $5 to $8 for an arrow. Actually, by the time you get it all done, maybe $8 to $10. Anyway, still out here hunting hard. So in the morning, I had this little spike buck come in, and I sat and watched him for a while. That's pretty much all I had come in that morning. But at least I knew that the bucks were off lockdown. So there's just any chance you could see a buck at any time cruising to try to find those last few doe to try to breed. And didn't see anything that morning. But that evening, that same little spike buck came in. And then this little weanling doe came in, and he kind of pushed her around a little bit. And then I noticed some movement way in the back, and a nice mature buck was coming in. So watch this. He stood in that position right there for about 3 to 3.5 minutes, just checking things out to see if it was safe to come in. Meanwhile, my heart was pounding out of my chest. In fact, at times I felt so lightheaded I thought I was going to pass out. That scrape he's on is about 37 yards, and I know I can make that shot if I'm concentrating. But as he turned, I thought maybe I should stand up and shoot him right there if he turned and gave me a shot. But then I thought, no, be patient. I think he'll come in. Watch him give the slight grunt to this little spike and how quickly this spike responds. What you don't see is that buck ran out about 35 yards and stood around there for a minute while I'm trying to get an arrow in. But he had his rear end to me. There's really no way I could have taken a shot at him there. I was hoping he would have turned, but he never did. After that demoralizing miss, I was back out in the blind the next morning. And man, the spigot for bucks has been turned on, but they're all small. At least this morning they were. Had this really nice 8-point, a young buck. He's maybe 2.5, not sure how old he is, but he's pretty young. I was giving him the pass for sure. And then while he was there, this little weanling doe came in, probably a fawn, and fed with him. And then also, as they were there, this spike came in that was with the buck that I missed yesterday, and another young buck came in, which he never really came in fully because he was a little intimidated by this other younger buck. So obviously he was probably a little bit younger, just not as strong. But they milled around for a while, and then this the younger buck that was intimidated kind of tried to make an attempt at a scrape and left his scent there. And then as he walked out, the other young buck walked out and then made a scrape over what he did over there. So anyways, the bucks are on the move for sure. I've got one more sit tonight, so hopefully we can get her done. Well, guys, last night you saw that. Tell you what, that couldn't have been a more perfect scenario for a buck coming in. Definitely a cull buck. We've got a strain of genetics on this ranch that has either one brow tine or no brow tines. But he was a mature buck anyways. He's at least 4, maybe 5 years old. But man, serious case of target panic. I don't know what it was. I felt like I was shooting my first buck ever again. I couldn't even hardly pull the bow back. And I was just shaking and my heart was pounding. I guess that's why we bow hunt, right, guys? I've owned this property for 15 years and I still have not shot a whitetail with a rifle on this place. Probably never will. Never say never, but anyways, it was quite frustrating after that shot because as soon as I pulled that trigger, I thought, I'm jerking this trigger. Slow down. And I just shot anyways, and just one of those rookie mistakes that some of us old guys make. But anyway, we're going to go sit in the blind tonight. Got one last hunt tonight, and I got to get home in the morning. So I'll give you a report on that hunt. There's a lot of young bucks running around right now, and they are definitely not on lockdown anymore. So hopefully we get a big buck tonight. Crazy Texas weather. It is 75 degrees, and it's December, what, 9 or something like that? December 9th, I think. And so I'm going out in a short sleeve shirt. And by the time the sun goes down, it'll be 65 degrees. So got a light little shirt, long sleeve shirt inside my backpack here. But we're gonna go sit in the blind tonight. It's our last time hunting. I'm thinking I might, if nothing happens tonight for a big buck, I'm thinking I might slip in the blind for about an hour and a half in the morning before I leave, just because there's so much buck activity. And I'm also going a little bit early this afternoon because it's still really hot. It's almost 2 o'clock. But I've been catching that doe that came through the south blind that I was in before. She's actually been coming to this middle blind about 3 or 4 times a week. So we're going to get in the blind early, and maybe she'll come in and I'll shoot her. At least we'll get some meat, deer meat down other than pig meat this trip. So stay tuned. Well, that wraps up my 2020 rut hunt here in Edwards County tonight. That same doe came in. They came in this morning along with all the other bucks, and then went out with that doe. The other doe that came in didn't come in all the way, but this morning. But that's the only thing that came in to the feeder itself. But that while I was watching that doe, she picked up her head really fast and looked out into an opening out from the left of the middle blind that I have. And I saw a doe chasing, so I figured there's a buck behind her. I couldn't get the camera around that far because it's too far to my left. And I got my binoculars up, and sure enough, there was a buck right behind her. And that was a big buck. I couldn't tell if he was an 8-point or a 10-point, but he was big and wide. And I would say probably in the 140s for sure, maybe even more. I was able to get binoculars on it for about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds to push the doe around that opening, and then push the doe out. So I got down out of the stand. I said, forget the camera. I'm going to see if I can catch these, because I figured they would be in this opening, and sure enough, they were. Caught up to them, but the doe busted me and blew, and then ran out, and the buck followed her. So I knew it was a fat chance of it happening, but I knew this is my last day. So anyways, thank you for watching. This is the Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal and the Bowhunting Radnick. Be sure and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we will give you notification of future videos that come out. Thank you for watching.